Indian Restaurant Summit is not our idea. Uh, about 3 years back, we thought there was a community that we were building. Some of you who know Franchise India does about 95 plus shows every year. Every third working day, we do a show. Next week on 15th of July, at the same venue, I've got a show which is probably the third time that we are doing it in Pune, which is the franchise show of ours. And globally, food business or the restaurant business is the most franchised business in the world. Restaurant business across board. I mean, 15 years, we serve about 1 million people, 10 lakh people take franchisees from us on a annual basis. The number one interest that I have is to start a restaurant. But I don't have restaurants to offer. I mean, I go to Amritsar, I go to small towns like Nagpur and various places, and people say, hey, I don't have you want me to pay in cash, I'll pay in cash, but I want McDonald's. I want Pizza Hut. And I asked myself, I said, why there's no McDonald's in India? Why there's no Pizza Hut in India, which is thinking about 1,000 stores? So we had two different problems, and we came with a common solution. One problem that we were addressing at our own level, and we do a national summit, which is called the Indian Restaurant Congress, which will happen third time in August and in Delhi, wherein we bring in about 300 leadership, restaurant leaders to come together, debate on the future of restaurant. We bring in government bodies, we bring in industry, we do this thought leadership forum. But our vision at Franchise India has been to reach out to the last city which would have a potential to get branded retail. So the whole idea was to reach out to cities that we operate in. Many of you, obviously, in a restaurant business, if you're in business, you're running restaurants. I asked this to a lot of my friends who run restaurants, and I said, there's a great location I've found. Would you be interested in building up one more restaurant? He says, sure, definitely I can look at it. Even if he's not having money, he would arrange money and open one more restaurant. Not a problem. And I asked him, I said, if you have to put in the same money in getting your processes in place so that you could probably franchise out and open in the same amount of money 20 restaurants. The answer is not as sure as the first question. Why? Because processes and systems is something which we don't understand by default. Two, we are not committed to make the right investments. Many of you might be seeking investment. I can tell you one thing. I have about 100,000 people, 1 lakh people who are willing to put in anywhere excess of 30 lakh rupees to open restaurant. So people who can do this maths will understand there is enough money available for people to open their restaurants. That's not a problem. Problem is a great restaurant and standardization, and a process which helps these 100,000 people to open restaurants. So I'll probably not take too much of time. So fact that I want to highlight is that we've taken this endeavor with BYT to go to about 12 cities, talk to local restaurant owners. Some of them are potentially in a growth phase, some of them are in a startup phase, some of them want to start even a business, or some of them are contemplating what to do with their business. We want to bring all of them together, have a collective learning to say what is really the future of restaurant industry, what are the potential threats, what are the potential opportunities, and how all of us can together brainstorm on what is going right and wrong with your businesses. Lastly, as I said, the need is to standardize, and there is no second way, I personally feel, globally in retail that can happen without technology.